boys and girls, we're going to do a little quick review over chapter 3. You'll notice in the first section we're converting between measurement systems. And so what we're going to need is page 85 from your book, which looks like this. It has all your conversion factors on there. Or you could also have your orange chart out, because remember I gave you a little orange piece of paper to tape to it that has this same chart right here. So let's have that out, and then first thing that you do is you always look and see what you're converting from to what. So number one, I'm converting 20 gallons to how many liters. So when I look at my chart, I have, that's capacity, so I go 1 gallon equals 3.79 liters. So what I'll want to do is I'll want to go ahead and set up, I'm going to do a proportion. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my conversion factor. So 1 gallon is 3.79 liters. Now, when I go over here and I'm trying to find out what 20 gallons is, since that's gallons, I'm going to put it on top with the gallons, okay? So it's going to be 20 gallons, and I want to know how many liters that is. So you'll notice we have a nice pretty little proportion, and now we can just go ahead and butterfly that baby. So we'll do 1 times x, which of course is just 1x. We don't put the 1. And then 20 times 3.79 is going to be, I'm going to use my calculator for time's sake, and that's going to be 75.8. So it'll be 75.8 liters. Okay, so then we'll write that in here. All right, and then another one. If we look at 3, it's 43 yards, and that is how many meters? So let's go to our chart, and I'm looking for yards to meters. So yards to meters. And so I start with my conversion. 1 yard is 0.914 meters. Excuse me, can't really read that. And then I want to know 43 yards is how many meters. And you'll notice once again I put yards on top, meters on bottom, meters on bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and once again I'm going to cross multiply. Now, normally when we cross multiply, I would also have to divide, but because I get 1x, then I don't have to do the divide part. So 43 times 0.914, that'll be 39.302. And that will be meters. All right. And then here you'll notice we're going ounces to grams. So then I go to my chart and I find ounces to grams. So 1 ounce is 28.4 grams. So 1 ounce is 28.4 grams. And I want to know how much 36 ounces is. So remember, 36 is going to go on top with the other ounces, and I want to know that is how many grams. Okay, so let's go ahead and once again we'll cross multiply. So 1x, and once again I can either put the 1 or not, but I don't need to. And then 36 times 28.4 is going to give me 1,022.4, and that would be that many grams. And once again, I don't have to divide because I have a 1 in front of the x, so I can just not put that, and it would be 1022.4. All right, now we're going miles to kilometers. So I have 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. So 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. And then up here I have 5 miles. And then how many kilometers would that be? Okay, and then once again we're going to cross multiply. So x is equal to 5 times 1.61. And that would be 8.05. Now you'll notice every single one of these, we ended up with 1x, so we didn't have to divide. But there are going to be times where, for example, if I'm doing miles in kilometers, and I'm given the kilometers, and I want to know how many miles it is, then when I set up my, for example, say we wanted to know how many 5 kilometers was in miles. I could go 1 mile and 1.61 kilometers, once again, this is my conversion factor. And then say I had 5 kilometers, but I wanted to know how many miles that was. So this time when I cross multiply, I would get actually 1.61x, and then 1 times 5 is 5. And then here I would end up having to divide. Divide by 1.61. 5 divided by 1.61. So x is 3.105. And that one is a long repeating decimal, but that'll be 1.06 actually to round. Because it comes out to be 1.055, and since that one's bigger than 5, I'm going to move this one up to a 6. So 5 kilometers is 3.1, let's say 3.1 miles, if we round it off. So if you've ever heard of doing a 5K, then that's actually 3.1 miles. All right, well that's 3.1, and I'll do 3.2 in a different video.